I'll give it.
Welcome, everybody, to the Crossover Cinema Podcast. I'm your host, Kaya.
And I'm Carlo, and welcome everybody because today we're talking about a movie that is not unanimous like usual. And today, me and Kaya were not on the same page on that movie. So, what are the odds? Every episode is like that. But today we're talking about Alien. Let's go, the new Alien. I wanted to kick it off with I think the storyline that I think that was a problem with Yukaya. I'm not sure, but
I'll
for
put it
you,
like
you didn't
this.
like it.
I'll put,
Listen,
yeah, go ahead.
for me, it was a little too long, but there was a lot of action. But I got all the moments I was looking for as a fan, but it was a little too long. Like, yeah, the storyline could have been shortened. That's my critic right now. I don't know you right now, but
Well, I guess for me, it's really simple. Like, I don't think the runtime was an issue. I think the 2 hours or 1 hour, 59 minutes was a solid runtime. Um, it was just the overall retread of familiar ground. And I feel like what this film did was it was like he was a big fan of the entirety of the Alien franchise. All the films, Prometheus, Covenant, and I feel like what he did here was just it wasn't as inspired as I thought it was going to be. I expected a lot more of this movie. I think that's where the disappointment for me comes in. Is I didn't come into this with low expectations. I was a fan of the Evil Dead remake that Fede Alvarez did a couple years ago.
mm,
And it's the sort of thing where, like, casting wise, I think it was okay. I do think they skewed a little too young, which I think is his trademark, that kind of slasher kind of vibe. Um, I do think Kaylee Spaney as Rain was miscast, just plain and simple. I just they
I
didn't
think
give
she
her.
was really good though. I really think
I,
that she did
I
a
want to make this
great
point.
job.
I know what you're
Like
saying. You're saying for you in terms of the way she worked narratively with the actors and
acting
everything,
wise,
acting
yeah,
wise,
exactly.
she did the job you wanted, right? And for
Yeah,
me,
exactly.
I just what I was looking for was a discernible like character, like traits, like a skill that they do, something that they have strengths and weaknesses, and I feel like this character was just kind of bland. Not that they didn't have any weaknesses or they didn't have any things that they were doing well, but it was nothing that was their own defined thing that they brought to the table. They were always kind of being. It was more situational stuff where their prowess showed and they were able to succeed. But it was like not it wasn't at the level of what I expected. I think I wanted a little more from her character, maybe her backstory. I think there was a very good scene, for example, I think when she's going to go and clock her mining hours and the worker just changes her quota, like doubles it. And you're just like,
Hmm.
that's painful. There's definitely some good moments here. I do think the
Yeah,
strongest
yeah,
performance, like for example, strongest performance is David Johnson as Andy, 110%.
yeah, hands on with a great performance. Uh, but I'm gonna say that 30 minutes at the beginning where they're like just putting really quickly everybody in their world and where they are in their in their work and how it is. I found it like it was enough. Like that 30 minutes was short and sweet. For me, it wasn't like I was like, let's go into action right away. They're going in that ship and we're like, it's go time. I don't know. Like we know Alien what it is. So I was expecting that and it went really fast. Like I think in half an hour I got like already a fight already. We got like the aliens arriving.
A lot of backstory to a
We
degree.
got that tongue, bro, that was in her mouth and went out like slowly because they froze it. Like, yeah, I got like a couple of scenes that I was like, damn, that's a good one. And it was the aesthetic was there, but for sure it wasn't like a quality like it was a really like a fan service movie. That's what I think. And maybe not a good one. That's what I understand about you, but
I think that's
it
what it
wasn't.
is for me. Like that, it's bad member berries. Like
Mhm.
plain and simple. Like I just didn't. I think there was a point in the movie where I was like hopeful. Like I felt like there was some good moments. I think the opening 30 minutes is some of the strongest stuff in the film. I think the relationship between Andy and Rain, while a little bit like you know a bit of a trope.
Yeah,
I
but at the
I just
At
think
the
it.
same time, maybe it's
Yeah.
gonna arrive like that. You know, one day maybe like it's gonna be like that one day. I don't know.
But that's
Wasn't
the
that crazy for me? Like,
that's a point I would make definitely in that respect. It's because I feel like there was some realness to it. I just felt the nature of the situation, like him getting bullied, when it was very trope driven, like,
mm-hmm.
and we've seen it before, tried and true. It's not that these things are bad. I'm used to this sort of stuff, so I'm looking for
Yeah.
some spice to it. And I do think that David Johnson's performance as Andy, like it helps spike up the film in a lot of ways, especially when he
Oh
gets that
yeah.
module switch. I think that like is a
Mm-hmm.
real, like anybody's gonna have fun with that. And I think as an actor, he really showed his versatility there.
Oh
And
yeah.
I really liked seeing that. I think that was really cool for him, especially.
Yeah. But let's go right away into it because I think it's the thing that everybody's like not sure about, and that's where I started to be not sure about it too. At what time did they do that human alien dude? I don't know if it was Machine Gun Kelly or I don't know what type of like alien human thing at the end. But
Um,
seriously, that broke it for me. That was like I didn't had a good
so
impression
I
of
don't
it. I
know
was
if you
like, oh
have
yeah, that's where
seen.
we're going.
Have you seen Prometheus?
And, yeah, I saw it,
Okay, so
but
I would say
yeah.
this is going to add to my point. I think you're going to understand my point even more
No, yeah,
clearly.
but yeah,
It's a
yeah, I
greatest.
see the
It's the
aesthetic of it,
film.
but
It's not just the aesthetic. The aesthetic, I think, is actually one of the strongest points. I think the cinematography, another point, is one of the strongest points. The
me too.
use
That's
of
what I think. It's
animatronics,
really a good
right?
thing, but
But
I'm
the
talking only about the alien at
but
the
that's
end.
what I mean.
Like,
Specifically, that
what kind of
narrative
alien?
choice. That narrative choice lies in, I think, the way Prometheus was a lot about the experimentation that the engineers who created us, right, in that universe, um, had started just so that they can annihilate the human race, right? And I feel like
Mm.
we at the same time kind of commit the same sins of our like creators by making a pathogen and then the pathogen being advertised to Kay as she's dying. I think that's her name, right? And I feel like that vulnerability was well executed. However, I just, my gosh, I'm like, damn, girl, you really syringed yourself, and then you thought nothing was going to happen with some weird alien
No,
pathogen.
but it's not about the idea,
Hmm.
but it's more about really the aesthetic and what he looked like. Like I'm pretty sure they were in like
It was reminiscent. It
in
was
the conference room all together, and they were like, okay, so do we put him human face or we're going more with alien face with the body? Was it more like human? I
he
don't know.
looked like an
Like
engineer, to be honest.
the choice they put up with that human alien, for me that's really one of the things I didn't like about that movie. Like
Like I
it
think
wasn't
it,
I didn't I yeah,
it
it was
doesn't
really
it,
I
it
don't know.
doesn't work for me just because I didn't feel like the buildup was there. That I didn't enjoy the buildup that came with it. Like there was buildup, but it wasn't for me in that respect. But I
Mhm.
think that the design of the alien at the end, the hybrid creature, was very reminiscent to like an engineer mixed in with the spine of an alien xenomorph,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
the like kind of like belly button umbilical cord looking wound type thing. Like it was like it was intense. That was a lot going on. I feel like it was just an extra like cherry on top, but it was a spoiled cherry, and I wasn't
Yeah,
really.
but it was yeah, that's the thing. Like it was like not too much, but almost too much.
Oh, well,
It was
I just
he
think
went in,
it
but
wasn't
I
it for
think he
me.
wanted to go for like, yeah, it wasn't it for me too. But I think he wanted to go like maybe in that old kind of like view of the characters, you know, and those old movie. We felt that old kind of creature that was,
It
I
was
don't
the
know,
greatest hits of alien plot points and tropes and things that they've done, and none of them were done better than the original versions. Like when David, when David, sorry, I keep calling him David because I keep thinking of Michael Fassbender, but when Andy has that moment, where he saves Rain and he drops down on the alien with a machine gun, it's a cool set piece. But that line delivery and the line itself, like, oh my gosh, bro.
yeah,
Why? Why? Like
it
y'all
was
filmed it and
actually,
it passed 16 billion different hands and nobody thought maybe we should take this one out and tweak it. You know,
hmm
even just the delivery. Maybe we can tweak the delivery. Maybe he just says the whole line at once rather than that pause for the audience to go, oh my god, he said the line. Ooh, yeah. You know, like it's like, come on, bro. What is this? Are you
But
playing with me?
yeah,
I think you
but at
playing.
the
I
end,
think
every
you
time there
playing with
was
me, Fede.
something.
I think you
Yeah, but
playing with me.
every time there was something that like I could have pointed of another movie of it, I was like, oh, okay. So I wasn't that mad about it,
Hmm.
but I really understand your point. It was maybe a little bit like lazy. I don't know.
It wasn't even so
It's
much that
like
it was
just
lazy.
going.
It was like he probably thought this was super inspired. I think it was genuinely uninspired. Like
Mm,
I think he wanted to do multiple different lanes within the Alien franchise, and he thought he could do it all at once. And I think what it would have better served him was to had started with the simple narrative he created to build up to it. I think because I think he clearly wants to do more Alien films based on the way
mm,
the film ends, and I feel like a lot of it is coming from a place of like I'm a big fan, et cetera, which I really enjoy to some degree. But I feel like imagine if this film was just like take out the opening. Take out the opening, have
mm,
no scientists, don't show anything. Just have an opening that's about the characters, maybe the mining accident that happened with their parents. Just make it more of a drama, right? And then build around these characters and spend a little bit more time, maybe an additional 15 minutes with them in a different scenario so we really can get used to them and get acquainted so that when this back half hour comes and they all presumably die right in the situation they're in when they go on the derelict space station,
mhm.
it works better because then at the same time it's like, oh, we found this space station, we're all poor, we're all trying to make it out, let's go here and let's figure out, let's try to get to Ungava, you know what I mean, let's do that, right? And it's like that for me could have worked because I could have gotten more attached to them. But the way this worked from jump, I was like, especially with the marketing for this movie and the trailers being very slashery, I'm like, okay, so it really wasn't. It wasn't just that you wanted to do a slasher movie. You also wanted to do a body horror, like a science movie. You wanted to also do like this, like movie about like why the corporations are evil, and like I feel like he tried to do all these different things, and I think he could have done like two, and like honed in on those two things or honed in on one and had elements of the other to make it stronger. But it wasn't a cohesive package for me. It was
Yeah, I get
not.
it. I think he had maybe like demands, and he needed to fill up some demands, you know,
Hmm.
because it's such a big franchise. It's so big. At the end, maybe that was the best movie he could have done. Maybe I don't know. For me, it was like a little fast food kind of movie. It
Yeah,
was more
yeah.
like a blockbuster kind of movie. I think it's gonna be received well around the world if you like Alien. But for the real fans, you're not gonna be like satisfied for sure. But yeah, that's what I think. It's really a Fast and Furious, but Alien.
Well, there was, listen, I'll give them credit. When the action was happening, the action
Hey,
was
the
very
action was
solid.
happening, bro.
Like the face
Wait, let's
huggers,
talk
yeah,
about that little part
yeah,
where she kills them without the gravity,
yeah.
and
That
she's
was,
going through
yeah, yeah.
all of those
That was
like
a well done
art.
sequence.
That's
Absolutely,
yeah, it
Fede,
was
good
like
job
a
on that.
video game
Good
kind
job
of
on that, bro.
time.
Like, yep.
After when we see all the last tunnel that they need to go, and I don't know, I was in it. I was
I
every
just think
step I was going in.
there was certain
They
even
brought me slowly with the
yeah.
tongue in her mouth, and boom,
There
boom,
were
boom, and
certain
then
choices with the set pieces I really liked. However, there was even some things I was like for example, the I forgot what the brother's name is, but her best friend, when he dies, when he gets gutted by the alien, he gets popped up, and he's got all these aliens looking at him. He didn't even get a shot where it's like from the tunnel of debris and you're seeing the flashes of the gun as he's getting eaten. Like
mm,
there wasn't even that. Like I feel like some of them were missing that, and you could tell he was doing a lot of animatronic work, but then it was almost like too much. Like he would like every time there was a close up of the alien, it's like instead of doing just like he didn't do, I think, enough blend of CG. I think he needed a
mm.
little more CG, just a little more, where it would have just felt a little less like you had these. It felt like limitations of the '70s. Genuinely, like there were times where the camera was just so close to the animatronic. I'm like, okay, so I get it. The alien's there, yes, but let's
But
okay.
at the end, that's what we like about it, no?
But it's a twofer. I
That's what
think
I
you,
like
but
about
it's
the
the
old
blend.
ones too.
No, but it's a blend though. But that's the old film in that time. It's born of the production practices at the time and the way things worked and how you could make a film of that quality and that genre at the time. But like this for me, I feel like he had his fun and I'm happy he did, but I didn't have fun. Not that much fun. Just a little bit.
I think we're gonna finish on that note,
Yeah.
even if it's a pretty sad note, but
Yes,
it is what
sir.
it is. Alien for me, I give it a 7.5,
Out of
almost
10?
8 out of
Wow.
10, just
Yeah.
because I'm thinking about worldwide. I'm thinking about everybody who's gonna watch it, like
Mhm.
people who don't really know maybe Alien, and they are people who go a lot to theaters right now. So
Yes.
I don't know, like
I like that ranking. That 7.5 is pretty fair. I don't think
that's
that's an
like
unfair
where
ranking.
I'm putting it.
Mhm.
But yeah,
I'll put it like this for me. I I can't stand. I cannot stand Alien Covenant. Okay, Ridley. That's a stinker, bro. That's a
Mm,
ooh wee stinker. Okay, but this is better than that. So I will say, if Covenant was a 5, this is like a 6.5, maybe a
yeah,
7 on a good day.
I
That's
agree.
what you get, Fede. That's what you get, baby. I hope you continue to work, brother, because you have a really great eye. I will say that.
Okay, I just
110%.
want to finish and ask you a last question
Yes, of
real quick.
course.
I just thinking about it. How did you like the scene about like he was smoking with the gravity going up and he just stoked it? Was it how do you think like nah you didn't like it?
Corny.
Oh
And he was
yeah.
unlikable. All those humans were unlikable. So
Oh yeah, it
they
wasn't
were really not trying to make us like them. They were like,
fast.
let's get these humans out of here. These teenagers
No,
need
but
to
we knew
die.
that they were there to
No, but they could have been more likable.
we knew it.
Even
We knew that
Navarro,
at the
the
beginning.
pilot, man, she wasn't even likable. When she got the face hugger, I was like, at least it wasn't the main character. I like Rain
No,
more
but
than
for
her.
sure, yeah.
Like
I said the same thing. I was like, perfect. The first one's gone.
110%, brother.
But it
110%.
went fast, man.
It did. It
On
did.
that note, I'm Carlo Vincemaro. Thank you guys
You
being
already
here on the
know.
Crossover Cinema podcast.
I'm Kaya Phillip, y'all. It's always a pleasure to have you guys come through, and we welcome you in the next time, and can't wait to see you for whatever it is. You already know. Have a good one, y'all. Ciao.